as possible. And here's how I'll propose we'll work today. I'll start with a quick overview of the onboarding process and the platform, kind of providing you a high-level view, and then I'll answer any questions you may have. So let's begin, and I'll begin with a disclaimer. Um, Sometimes people join us from very different locations, and sometimes they can see this kind of message on their dashboards in Outlier. Uh, Based on your location, there are currently no projects available for you. That means that Outlier can't work in all countries. So if you see this message, that means that unfortunately, in this particular place where you're located right now, Outlier can't function, and you can't join us from this place. This is just important to know for those who can see it. We can't help, unfortunately, with this. But if everything is all right and you don't see this message, then you can do your onboarding and Outlier, and let's see how it is organized. So I assume you're here because you applied for a position of remote AI trainer. This is a sample recruiting ad for Chinese writers, but we are recruiting in 40 more languages groups, so we all belong to different language groups. After you applied for a position, you should have received an offer letter in different form, but basically this letter outlines steps that you need to do in order to join Outlier. It's very simple steps. I just want to draw your attention to one particular thing. Usually, this letter contains a personalized link that you have to click in order to join Outlier. And please use this link because it's created for you. And this will help you to avoid any technical problems that might arise if you try to join Outlier in any other way. So after that, the process is very simple. You have to verify your identity, uh, uh, provide some personal information, then verify your identity with ID from the country where you live. Then you should upload your resume, and please make sure that your resume is in English because the working language at the platform is English. All instructions that you will be receiving for the working tasks will be in English. So, and your resume will also need it in English in order to extract some important information about you. So additionally, you'll be offered to select your expertise so we can put your skills to a good use. And after that, you will be asked to join discourse, which is Outlier Forums, which is a working chat uh, for all for all those who work in Outlier. This is actually main means of communication with your managers, your country managers, and with your colleagues. Here you can ask any questions about working tasks. You can ask for help. You can ask advices. You will be receiving notifications that there are new tasks coming, and you will be receiving all instructions and work-related trainings. Everything is here. That is why it's very important to join Outlier forums. After that, you will see a short foundational course that will teach you how actually Outlier works as a platform, uh, what features you can find there, how to use them, and so on. And after that, the final step is language screening assessment, because we need to assess your language skills more thoroughly. That's why we have different types of questions. As you can see on the screen, there are video questions that test your ability to speak your language. Yeah, on multiple choice questions, usually they test grammar skills and your understanding of the nuances of your own language, and written skills that obviously are testing your writing skills, your ability to develop an idea, to develop an argument. And pass this, if you don't pass this test, you will see this message, which will inform you that unfortunately you didn't pass the test and you are ineligible to work on the project. Uh, and if you pass this test, you will immediately see educational courses on your dashboard. This is how they look like. You can see the name of the project, you can see base rate and assessment rate for the project. And usually, any project, before you start them, there are educational courses that you have to take in order to be able to work with the real work assignments. If you don't take the course, you won't get access to the working project because it's very important that you do them right. Otherwise, you won't be able to work with the required quality in the working projects. So after that, just several questions that I'm usually asked about. If you get to choose the projects you will be working on, normally not. Usually you will be receiving this project, they will be added on your dashboard by admins. And but they usually based on your skill set and the feedback you got from previous working project. Once you get started, you will be receiving feedback for your work, and this is also kind of portfolio that you form during working in Outlier. Sometimes we have working project after working project, and we don't have to wait, let's say. Sometimes there is a pause in our projects. For example, our client need to reassess something or rearrange their thing. And usually we use this pause to give you some educational projects. So you don't just waste your time sitting there. You can educate yourself how to perform different type of tasks. And when we have these tasks, you can immediately start working on them. And actually, what kind of tasks you can expect? Very, very different ones. For example, you can be asked to write a prompt according to a set of requirements, or to edit and rewrite a prompt. When you submit a prompt, model usually gives you a couple of answers, and you have to evaluate and compare them again according to a set of criteria. After that, you might be asked to rewrite the response that the model gave you to make it better, to make it sound more human, and so on. So it's really a lot of different tasks, and this is what makes this job interesting. When you are on a task, you can always pause it if you need a break, if you want to do something else, and then you return and you finish it. Why it is important to mention? Because you will be paid by time you spend on the task, and this time is automatically tracked by the platform itself. If you work in Outlier, we also have a second platform, which is called CRC. You can see abbreviation here. Um, and here as well, you will download a special extension, and this extension will be recording your time. Usually in working projects, we have a required amount of time for each task, and it depends on the complexity of the task. Sometimes if a task just requires let's say, an answer yes or no. It might be like 2 minutes per task. Sometimes, if it's a complex task that requires writing, assessing, evaluating, making conclusions, and so on, it might be 30, 40 minutes per one task. So it's usually a reasonable amount of time that you will be given. Here you can see a sample screenshot from someone's earnings section. So here on the left part of your screen, you will see working menu, and here's the earnings. You will get sometimes missions associated with your working project. This is kind of bonuses. If you start a mission, you can earn more. Uh, Community, this is your fast track to Outlier forums. This is how you join them. You just click on community, log in with your email, and you're there. And when you join Outlier forums, you will see different dimensions. For example, here topics, you can sort everything by topics and immediately click on the topic and get there. You will see categories. This is working groups, and you will be assigned to a certain working group. Uh, that you will have on your dashboard, and you will have it in Outlier as well. And you will get access to the channels where you will be discussing your work with your colleagues. Um, what else? It's important to mention that we also have a feedback section. Once you get started, you will receive feedback for your assignment, and it's very important uh, to actually pay attention to this feedback, because it will help you to improve your work and to get better scoring for your work and not to be banned from the projects. So that's probably it. That's all I wanted to say to tell you about the platform itself and how work is organized there. The last thing that I want to show you is a short video, like 5 minutes, about one of our working projects. So you have an idea what to expect once you uh, uh, get assigned with a working project. So let's have a look. And after that, I'll answer the questions that you might have for me.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining today's onboarding session for the Lazarus RLHF project. We are excited to have you on board and look forward to working with you. In this session, we'll go over the key instructions for completing tasks effectively, focusing on prompt creation, response evaluation, and tone adjustment. This will ensure that we maintain high-quality outputs across all the languages. Let's begin with a brief overview of what your role will entail. Your task involves creating prompts, selecting the better response between two chatbot outputs, evaluating responses across several dimensions, and rewriting responses if necessary. Here are a few key things to remember when creating prompts. Prompts should be in your native language unless explicitly stated otherwise. Make sure the prompt is specific and aligned with the assigned category and complexity. The prompt should not include sensitive topics such as violence, illegal activities, or obscene content. After submitting your prompt, the system will generate two responses from different models. Your job is to evaluate and choose the better response based on several criteria, which we'll discuss next. As shown in this screenshot, you'll begin by creating a prompt. Each task will have a designated main category and subcategory, which you must follow closely to ensure the responses generated are on topic and relevant. Always aim to create prompts that can elicit verifiable and fact-checkable responses from the model. The prompt should encourage a response that you can fact check. Include the necessary constraints like word count, format, or tone as per the task complexity. If both responses generated are perfect, you'll need to submit a new prompt, since we require at least one response to contain an error for proper evaluation. Once your prompt is submitted, the model will generate two responses, and your next task is to evaluate them. In this screenshot, you'll compare response A and response B using the following criteria. Instruction following. Did the response accurately follow your prompt instructions? Language fluency. Are there grammatical errors? Does the response sound natural and fluent? Coherence. Does the response flow logically? Is it easy to follow? Factuality. Is the response providing correct and verifiable information? Always fact check when necessary. Also, presentation. Is the response well organized? Does it use lists or formatting where appropriate? Tone. Is the tone warm, friendly, and empathetic? You'll rate each response from terrible to excellent. And it's important to justify your choices in a Likert justification here. Be clear and specific about why one response is better than the other. In some cases, you may be asked to rewrite responses. The focus here is on adjusting the tone to be more engaging and empathetic, as highlighted in our instructions. So you have to keep the tone warm but avoid unnecessary pleasantries. We want the response to feel natural, not overly formal. Make sure the response is clear and easy to read, using bullet points or markdowns to improve readability if necessary. If the response feels too cold or detached, tweak it to bring out a more empathetic and approachable tone. If you can make the necessary adjustments within 5 minutes, focus on those small improvements, especially tone. Let's now address some of the common technical challenges you may encounter. Occasionally, links provided by the model won't work due to geographic restrictions. If a link doesn't open, rate the response accordingly in the factuality section and explain the issue in your justification. You know right now how to write effective prompts, evaluate model responses based on the outline criteria, make necessary rewrites to adjust tone and empathy, handle common technical challenges. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your QM during the project. Thank you for your time and attention, and we look forward to seeing your excellent work.
Okay, that was it. I hope that was interesting for you. And actually, that's practically all that I wanted to show you regarding the how to work the platform.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So, any questions? If you have, you can raise a hand and switch on your microphone and ask, or you can write it down in the chat. I'll read and answer, whatever suits you best. Please, if you have any difficulties, maybe technical problems, or just a question how everything is organized, you are welcome to ask.